Right now on Jamaica News Page Today, power slowly returns, but frustration is boiling over. More than a week after Hurricane Melissa plunged the island into darkness, the Jamaica Public Service Company is racing to restore electricity. But in St. Catherine, tempers flare. Residents of Lime Tree grounds setting fires and blocking roads, accusing JPS of neglecting their community. Plus, Member of Parliament James Robertson slams the government for what he calls a slow and tangled response to the crisis, warning that delays could cripple Jamaica's recovery. And developing news in Clarendon. Police have now charged a father in connection with the murder of his 13-year-old daughter, a case that has horrified the nation. Also, the death of UWI student Victoria Hanley Brown is now being treated as a homicide after a post-mortem reveals insights into her cause of death. Jamaica News Page Today is powered by viewers like you. Please click subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay informed. Thank you for subscribing. Jamaica News Page Today starts right now. We begin in St. Catherine, where residents of Lime Tree Ground took to the streets, blocking roads with debris and setting fires in protest after spending more than a week without electricity since the passage of Hurricane Melissa.
One light post.
Yeah.
One light post. I will have a whole lane.
Yeah.
Then come here, see they say they're going to put up the light. Nothing. You understand? Then matter about 3 months.
So, alright, so like going on a light from where there, how it affect you really? Talk about that.
Every day generator burn at least 5,000 gas.
Yep.
4,000 gas.
And sometimes you go to gas station, you can't get gas. Sometimes you go there, you can't fully pour back there. They might tell you, oh, we got no gas. Or they might leave.
Yeah.
I've got a generator. Yeah. I'm from England. With 2 baby them in there, with the 2 of them are under 5. My youngest at 12 months. You understand me? I try to say,
yeah.
Mosquitoes would actually pick them. And when you act, my generation have to stay outside.
Yeah.
You understand? Plus the fume. Sometimes you have to lock up the door because of the fume of the generator. And yesterday we see them after 12 and they say, yeah man, we are come fix the light post. Then give 1 pill to swallow, then them go about them business. They say 3 black light post, then cut down the 3 light posts, then nothing of them on it.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
Meanwhile, the Jamaica Public Service Company JPS says about 55% of customers across the island have now had their electricity restored.
So we have been making significant progress in regards to our overall restoration. Right after the passage of Hurricane Melissa, we had in the order of 23% of customers in. To date, we have over 55% of customers in service. That's over 380,000 customers. We have been prioritizing our restoration around key areas, particularly areas that have critical customers, and that has been a coordinated effort with key partners.
We take too long to spend the money allocated in our budget.
Member of Parliament for Western St. Thomas, James Robertson, is raising concern that bureaucratic delays are slowing Jamaica's recovery efforts following Hurricane Melissa.
Is there a disconnect between the policymakers, that is the legislators and the government, and the implementers of that policy, that being the technocrats and the various state agencies? Do you believe there's a disconnect there?
The answer is yes, without doubt. I mean, we take too long to spend the money allocated in our budget. Every year, significant funds are returned, not utilized by many government agencies. The Ministry of Finance claws back a lot of money.
The MP's comments came after his appearance before Parliament's Infrastructure and Physical Development Committee.
Whatever drove the policy in 2008, 2009, through the Ministry of Finance to do the study of the East-West Highway, that policy has left the East with an infrastructural backbone that has stood up.
You believe in terms of that model, it could be more widely utilized in other parts of the country?
It would have to be. Yeah, that's a successful decision that was made, whether you call it policy, whatever you want to say. But the level of water that took place, rainfall, we see where the policy to spend properly on infrastructure, it bore fruit.
Now to St. Elizabeth, where Mayor of Black River, Richard Solomon, is urging individuals and organizations assisting with relief efforts after Hurricane Melissa to coordinate directly with local authorities to ensure help reaches those most in need.
I want persons to appreciate that there are areas that would not gotten enough support. And that is why I am appealing that you coordinate with the disaster coordinator and myself and Ministry of Labor so we can point you in the direction. You don't have to give us your relief supply. But all we'll do is to point you in the direction of the most vulnerable areas at this time. Because what we don't want is to be duplicating the process. And persons would have been benefit already and some who are in need of a bottle of water so that they can sustain themselves.
Mayor Solomon is asking anyone providing relief to contact the Black River Disaster Coordinator at 876570669 or reach him personally at 87651192933. Mayor Solomon also confirmed that more than 300 people left homeless by the hurricane have sought refuge in shelters across the parish.
Currently, we would have 31 shelters still activated with 200 and odd persons in the shelters. And these would have been persons who would have came into the shelters after the hurricane. So that clearly indicates that they would have been displaced from the comfort of their homes.
The news never stops, and neither do we. Here's what's ahead on Jamaica News Page today. A shocking twist in the death of UWI medical student Victoria Hanley Brown. Hear why the police are treating the student's death as a homicide. Plus, a Clarendon father charged with the brutal murder of his 13-year-old daughter. Stick around to hear what DNA results have confirmed. And in Manchester, an alleged extortionist is dead following a late-night confrontation with police. Also, a gas scare at Pica's head office in Kingston forces an evacuation after a strange smell sends workers rushing outside. And tragedy in Trelawney, where a man is believed to have died from generator fumes as power outages continue in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. Stay with us. The news never stops, and neither do we. Jamaica News Page today is powered by viewers like you. Please click subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay informed. Thank you for subscribing. Now back to the news. We have an update today on a breaking story first reported in October involving a student at the University of the West Indies Mona campus. An autopsy has revealed that 20-year-old medical student Victoria Hanley Brown, who was found dead in her dorm room at George Allen Hall on October 16th, died from strangulation. The post-mortem concluded that Hanley Brown's cause of death was asphyxia, a condition that occurs when the body is deprived of oxygen. Initially, police suspected self-harm after the young student was found by her roommate with a scarf wrapped around her neck. However, with these new findings, investigators are now treating the case as a possible homicide. Police say they're awaiting toxicology results to further advance the investigation. Developing news today. Police have formally charged Lawrence Sargent with the murder of his 13-year-old daughter, Shantina Sargent. The charge was laid on Wednesday, following DNA test results confirming that the charred remains discovered at Sargent's home in Baileystown, Clarendon, were indeed those of his daughter. The teen's partially burnt body was found on October 6th beside a burnt-out refrigerator at the back of the family's property. A post-mortem later revealed that the 13-year-old died from blunt force trauma. Sargent is also facing additional charges of grievous sexual assault related to allegations that he molested a 6-year-old girl multiple times. Those charges were filed in late October. This is a developing story, and we'll continue to bring you updates as they become available. A man was shot and killed during an alleged confrontation with police along the Bronte Main Road in Christiana, Manchester, late Wednesday night. The deceased has not yet been identified, but police say 2 other men were taken into custody in connection with the incident, all reportedly linked to an extortion ring. According to reports, around 11:55 p.m., a police mobile patrol received information that 3 armed men were extorting money from patrons at a nearby bar. When officers arrived at the location, they reportedly saw 3 men matching the description. The police say they identified themselves and ordered the men not to move. However, one of the men allegedly drew a firearm from his waistband and pointed it at one of the officers. The lawman reportedly took evasive action and fired 2 shots from his service Glock pistol, hitting the man. A 9mm pistol with 5 rounds of ammunition was recovered from the scene. The injured man was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. In other news, operations were slightly disrupted at the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency (PICA) on Constant Spring Road in Kingston on Thursday. This as occupants of the building reportedly detected a gas smell. It's understood the building was evacuated and an assessment done by a unit from the Jamaica Fire Brigade. An all-clear sign was given and normal operations resumed. And a 39-year-old man in Trelawney is suspected to have died of carbon monoxide poisoning. The police suspect he inhaled the fumes from an electric generator. He is Guyan Dunbar of site Carey Park in the parish. He was pronounced dead at Falmouth Hospital October 30th, 2 days after Hurricane Melissa made landfall and plunged the area into a power blackout.
Lord, I thank you.
The Queen of Dancehall, Spice, posted videos on social media showing her on the ground in Westmoreland, delivering supplies and construction materials to families who lost their homes during the devastating storm. Through her Grace Hamilton Women Empowerment Foundation, Spice organized 10 trucks loaded with blocks, cement, steel, zinc, lumber, and other building essentials, which she calls starter packages to help rebuild homes. She also distributed care packages and clothing. Spice says the mission was challenging. Fallen trees blocked the roads, but she refused to turn back. With the help of heavy equipment, the trucks made it through.
Lord, I thank you.
And that's the news on Jamaica News Page today, powered by viewers like you. Please click subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay informed. Thank you for watching and subscribing. We'll see you in the comments, and be sure to join us again for more news. Have a great day.